for the victory lap though. They ain't never seen nothing like this before.
Okay, this is Charlie again from Box Clever Sports, back with Ralph. We've got another couple of partner drills for you to do today. So we're going to be focusing on footwork again to start with. So you can see all you need for this drill is 2 people, and you need 1 cone or just some kind of marker you can put down on the floor and a little bit of space. Okay, so 3 things we're going to do. We're going to work on moving in and out of range. We're going to work on moving side to side, and then we're going to kind of put it into a bit of practice, and we're going to bring it into kind of a live touch sparring drill to finish things up. So the first drill, we're going to work on moving in and out of range against each other. So set yourselves up for this. One of you needs to start in your boxing stance on the cone. So Ralph there, you see his foot's right by the cone. I'm going to go 2 steps back in my boxing stance facing Ralph. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to move into range, so I'm going to be the one attacking. Ralph is going to move out of range. So just to show you how to move the feet nice and easy to start with. If I'm moving forward, I need to make sure my front foot moves first and my back foot follows. So I'm in my stance, I take 1 step forward, Ralph takes 1 step back. When Ralph moves back, his back foot moves first. I move forward again, Ralph's back foot moves first, my front foot moves first. Then it's Ralph's turn to come forward. His front foot goes first, back foot goes first. You can see now that first one, taking it nice and methodical with our step, we're just kind of stepping easily and controlled into range. If I want to make it a little bit more dynamic, I can do a quick double step in. So this time I'm going to be, even though I'm still moving my front foot first, I'm going to be pushing off of my back foot, get myself in quick. Ralph's going to be pushing off his front foot. Same thing, he comes in, I push off my front foot. So I'm using my front foot to propel myself out of range nice and quickly. Once you've got the hang of moving your feet on that one, you can start to add in some punching as you're stepping in. So as I step in with my double jab, as I step in with my feet, I'm going to throw my double jab. So I go 1, 2. Notice how my front foot and my front hand work together. So as my jab lands, my foot steps down. Ralph comes in with his double jab, I step out of range. I come in, front foot, front hand work together. Boom, boom. We could also jab our way out of range. So if I come in again with my double jab, boom, boom. This time, sorry guys, Ralph, can I go back, Ralph? Ralph steps in. When I step back with my jab lands as my back foot lands. So I go boom, boom. So I'm using my jab this time to create some space. Okay? That's the first drill. So you can kind of progress it from moving in nice and methodically. You can pick up the speed on the feet and you can start to add in some punches. The second drill, we're going to be working on lateral movement. Okay? So this time you're going to both be in your boxing stance and you're both going to stay about 2 paces, although if you haven't got space, one pace is fine, facing each other in your boxing stance. And what we're going to work on is we're going to work on circling around. So what we're both going to start by doing is taking a half circle to the left. So when we move to the left, our left foot's going to move first, and all we need to do is as we move, we make sure our body position stays facing each other. So we've always got our eyes on our opponent in our boxing stance ready to punch. When we get that half turn, so Ralph gets to where I was, I get to where Ralph was, we're going to set our feet, make sure our feet are in position to punch, boom, boom, for a nice methodical 1, 2. So all we're just making sure is that we've moved correctly and that our feet have ended up in the right place, because all the while we're moving, our feet should be underneath us in position, ready to punch. In my boxing stance, nice, good, correct technique on the 1, 2, and we're going to circle back to the right. So then I come back, this time my right foot goes first. Again, we're keeping that cone in between us, we're using that cone as like a reference point, it stays in the middle, we circle around the cone, I get to the other end, boom, boom, 1, 2, we circle back. So what we're going to do, half turns, just get nice and comfortable, gradually picking up the speed, and just focusing on making sure that when you stop, your feet are in the right position to punch. We don't want to be moving around, it's like being lazy with our feet, throwing, we're going to be off balance, okay? Once you've got the hang of it, like that, and you know how to do the technique, how to move, you can make it a little bit trickier. And what you can do, you can call yourself partner A and partner B. And for the first round, rather than just moving a half circle and doing the same thing every time, this time partner A is going to move and partner B's job is to follow. So if Ralph's going to be partner A, he's going to move around the cones. Wherever he moves, I have to shadow his movement. So he circles left, I go left. He goes right, I go right. If he decides to stop and punch, I have to stop and punch with him. We get up on our toes again. So again, and you can progress that. You can start off being reasonably easy, not making it too difficult for each other, And then once you get the hang of it, you can start to pick up the speed, start to try and catch each other out, use some feints, try and feint one way, go the other way, so that you're kind of catch each other off guard. Like I say, when they stop to punch, you stop to punch. When they move, you move. And you just have to shadow. It's the same as when you're sparring, when you're boxing somebody, you have to react to your opponent's movements. You're practicing the same thing here. Once we've got the hang of it with the footwork drills, we can get rid of the cone and we can start to sort of put that a little bit more into practice. We can do what we call a tag spar. So a tag spar, we're basically going to be standing in punching range and we're going to be trying to tag each other. So rather than trying to punch each other in the face or the body like we would do if we were boxing, we're just going to use our hand with an open palm and we're going to try and tag our opponent on the shoulder. So if I'm going to throw my jab, I'm going to try and use my jab, my left hand, my lead hand onto Ralph's left shoulder, his lead shoulder. If I want to throw my cross, I aim onto his back shoulder. So we're always kind of punching across the target, aiming to just tap your opponent on the shoulder. That's scoring a point, landing a punch. If you want to, you can add in body shots as well by just using the outside of the hip. So I can use my jab to the body, boom, I can come down, I can touch that hip. Use my cross to the body, I come down and touch the hip. So once you've practiced moving around the cones and you kind of know how to move your feet, how to change direction, you can try and play that little game of tag. And the job is just to make sure you're trying to tag your partner, not let them tag you, and moving around, keeping out of each other's way or trying to catch your opponent. So we're moving here, I'm trying to get him, he's trying to get away. If you know how to, you can practice, you can parry the shot. So Ralph throws a jab, I can catch it, try to move each other out of the way. So you can just try and as you move, you're trying to keep your feet underneath you, keep your balance, make sure you're obeying all those rules of footwork, which foot moves first, like we went through on the cones. So it's just a way of putting the cones, the principles that you learn on the cones, putting it into practice in a live drill.
Good way to make this game a little more interesting as well, guys, is to give yourselves some forfeits for the points you scored. So, say me and Charlie are tag sparring, what we can do is we can agree, clean jab to the shoulder, that's one burpee. Charlie hits a burpee. Clean jab, exactly. Same thing. If Charlie hits me with a clean cross to my shoulder, obviously that's a harder shot to land. I'm going to smash out 2 burpees. Chest to the floor. Same thing, if I tag Charlie in the body with a jab or a cross, say a body shot can be 3 burpees, cross to the body is 4 burpees. So whatever it is, you can make it more, you can change the exercise, make it interesting, give yourselves like 2-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds, work each other out, make it a bit competitive, but keep it controlled, keep the hands open, don't be punching each other in the grid. And yeah, that's awesome, man. Good stuff.
Cool, give it a go.
Cheers, guys.